Comedian Jess Boxworthy once quipped, "I wish I could relate to the people I'm related to." When I stumbled upon this quote, it stopped me in my tracks. As a family historian, I couldn't help but think you're not relating to the people you're related to because no one has taken the time to tell their stories. And isn't that a shame? Every family has its self-appointed historian, the archivist who saves the photos, the storyteller who keeps the traditions alive, or one like my aunt who remembers everyone's birth dates, anniversaries, and milestones. Yet even the best genealogists often miss the mark when it comes to preserving stories. We gather names and dates, build impressive family trees, and bust brick walls. But what about the narratives that breathe life into those branches? I don't have to imagine what it's like to lose family stories. In 2012, I buried my last grandparent and parent. By my 30s, the chance to ask questions or hear firsthand accounts was over. Sure, I could turn to genealogical records, but they couldn't tell me the stories I longed to know. Oh, how I kicked myself for not asking my mom or my grandmother more while I had the chance. And not to mention asking my dad, who died in 2004. After they passed, I focused on expanding the family tree, meticulously citing stories and adding branchings. But it really isn't enough. The connection felt incomplete, even though I've told you in a recipe for writing family history how to turn documents into stories. But I did decide to do something different. I started writing. I wanted to leave a legacy for my children, something more than a dry pedigree chart. In doing so, I noticed something curious in the genealogical community. There is excitement all about research, digging up records and interpreting DNA results and solving mysteries. But in the past 15 years, I have still seen very little attention given to writing the stories of the people we discover. So that got me wondering why. Why do so many genealogists climb trees but never pause to capture the stories that they find? When I ask people, why don't you preserve family stories? Their answers are honest and relatable. For instance, I don't like to write. I get it. Writing isn't everyone's favorite pastime. But here's the thing. Just because you don't like to write doesn't mean you shouldn't. I mean, heck, I dislike writing source citations, but I do it because it's essential. Writing family stories is no different. Many researchers tell me, I'm not a writer. They think writing requires a special skill set or a creative flair that they just don't have. I often reply with a quote from John Deloney. People speak in words and think in pictures. So what do you picture when you think of family history writing? For me, the writer is someone who takes names, dates, and places and transforms them into paragraphs. They add context, both familial and historical, to bring ancestors to life. If you can expand beyond a pedigree chart or software-generated narrative, congratulations, you're a writer. Other folks confess, I don't know how to start, or ask, are there any guides for writing family stories? The good news is that there are. I've shared many resources on my blog over at familyhistoryfanatics.com, on the YouTube channel here, this one, on the Write Your Family History channel, including an ancestor profile template that's perfect for beginners. So be sure to check out all of those resources if you don't know where to start. Another hurdle is practical, and I get it. Some people worry about getting the facts right. They may say, I don't want to write something inaccurate. But here's the thing. Writing often reveals errors in your research. It forces you to process what you found and uncover gaps you didn't notice before and those inaccuracies. And trust me, I found them when I wrote about 120 ancestors on my family tree. Writing isn't just a way to document your research. It's a tool to refine it. Now let's address some of the emotional barriers that halt people from writing and have them just rather build a family tree. Have you ever said, my family has skeletons in the closet? Or, I'm adopted and don't know my birth family? Or, no one in my family is interested in what I have to write. You know, these are valid concerns, but they're not insurmountable. Every family tree has its share of black sheep and complicated history, shall we say? Writing those stories honestly and neutrally can foster healing and understanding. And if your family isn't interested, write for the future. One day, a descendant will treasure the stories you've preserved. For adoptees, writing about the family that raised you is a great place to start writing. Practice telling those stories while you continue uncovering your biological roots, so that when you start writing about the biological roots, you've already built your muscles and know how to tackle that appropriately. If you're ready to preserve your family stories, here's what I suggest. Start small. Choose one relative, maybe somebody with enough documentation to create a basic narrative. Don't aim for perfection. Just get the story written. Stop researching and start writing. Treat writing as an ongoing process, not a final product. You can always revise as you learn more. Then share snippets on social media, blogs, family newsletter, family group text messages, what have you. Feedback from relatives can help fill in gaps or correct errors. Plus, sharing might inspire others to help contribute to your research through stories or maybe even an ancestry subscription. I truly believe genealogy isn't just about building a tree. It's about capturing the essence of who your relatives are. Don't wait for someday to write. Today is someday, even if it's messy or incomplete. As Lawrence Overmeyer said, history remembers only the celebrated. Genealogy remembers them all. Let's make sure those memories endure. So if you want to learn more about turning research into storytelling, make sure you check out the writing section of the FamilyHistoryFanatics.com website, or subscribe to the Write Your Family History channel on YouTube, the sister channel to this flagship one. Let's preserve the past one story at a time. You can do it, and you can still build your family tree.